Kathy Kress again, and I am back with my new YouTube channel about geriatric care management, and it's based on my new geriatric care management operations manual, which is out right now, which is not a book, it's an operations manual, and shows you how to run soup to nuts a geriatric care management agency with 11 different products. Just like McDonald's. I'm going to memorize all the products at McDonald's. All I know is I think they have chicken McNuggets, that's one product, and they have the Big Mac. They must have just a plain hamburger, that's a third product. Well, you're going to have 11 different products. They're not hamburgers. They're really services on how to solve older people's problems. Now, what we're going to do is we are talking about this older Lebanese gentleman. He's 85 years old. His 79-year-old sister called you from New York. She wanted you to do a geriatric assessment. You're Miss Full Charge. You've already been out to his house. You have already done the first part of a psychosocial assessment, his history. You've done the second part. You've done his cognitive ability, and he's mentally intact. You've done the third part, which is depression and anxiety, and he is depressed. He's been married for 60 years, and he was widowed 6 months ago. And he is very anxious. He's not going out of the house, even though a senior center is right across the street. So now we're going to look at formal and informal supports. And, you know, this is really a social assessment. So we're going to find out more about his family and about what social supports he has. So let's start with formal supports. Home care, he doesn't have anybody at home helping him that you know of. Senior center, he's not going to any senior center, even though one is right across the street. Social organizations, he didn't go to his family reunions, which is just recently, and that's how this all started. The sister flew out from New York to go to the family reunion, and he wasn't there, her older brother. They came from Lebanon together as kids. So she's really worried about him. Church, he's not going to church. That's a formal support, because I really believe that churches are social communities that are really, really wonderful with older people. And so he does not go to church, even though he did belong to a church at one point. So you know, he goes to the doctor, but he's not even going to his regular doctor appointments, and he goes to Kaiser, which is out in Cupertino where he lives. Informal supports. Well, you know, he has a sister who lives in New York, so she's not around. But he only has one son, and that son lives in Santa Cruz. And that's over a very low set of mountains. But the son is a doctor, doesn't have a lot of time. The son comes every week and really does help his fathers out. But the son is overwhelmed because he doesn't have any sisters or brothers. He comes once a week and he sets up his father's meds. You know, he's overwhelmed by his own practice, by his own family. He has 2 children. He doesn't have a family team. And so you call the son up as Miss Full Charge, and the son tells you all of this. You find out, you know, the son's point of view, and the son feels overwhelmed, and he would like a geriatric care manager to really help him solve these problems. The son is strained and burned out. He has caregiver burnout, because you're a caregiver, whether you go and directly help an older person in their home, or you're a long-distance care provider, and he really sort of is a long-distance care provider. There's a neighbor who calls him on a regular basis. He's called him to go to church, and he tries to come over every single day. So he does sort of have another informal support. So, but what the neighbor tells her when Mary Russell or Miss Full Charge goes over and talks to the neighbor, that it's something strange that's been going on, because a woman is visiting this older man. He doesn't know who she is. So that's a clue to the detective, the geriatric care manager, that something is strange. And she asks the son, do you know about a woman visiting him? And he says, no, my dad never mentioned that. So Mary Russell is, her detective skills are kind of, you know, blazing at this point. So try to find out what happens next, because it all, I mean, you know, in geriatric care management, you couldn't make this stuff up. You couldn't possibly make it all up. You know, you find out the most amazing stories, and don't we all have them in our families? So tune in to, or go to my website, kathykress.com. You can find out more about my new operations manual, more about all my books, and I will see you next time.